Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hand of Fate 2. So I exited it out, so we'll continue here. Now, there's something that's always nice as a video game critic, where you
and I will travel a ways together. I will teach you all I know, and you will destroy he who has taken my place.
Interesting. So it saved the game after I finished the last level. So all my cards that I had selected
and despair are all that
were
remains after the assassin has moved upon the Emperor.
eliminated.
This world merely reflects the world above.
So we're going to be fighting
Are in
thieves,
turmoil,
and we need max
and
level.
the game of life and death is shared by madmen.
Let's see. So yeah, let's take Deadly Forest. Oh, that's a dice roll. Eh. Okay. So there's I started to say something there and I lost it. There is something fairly nice about having some confirmation with the achievements as far as my own feeling as a video game critic. In particular, what I'm talking about here is that it feels like this game is just way too long with 21 missions. There is an achievement that says complete 10 challenges. Now, challenges may be completing 10 of the cards to unlock, or it may be a different situation of missions, which I think it's probably missions is what they're talking about there. So if you have 21, what I've been calling missions, I guess they call them challenges, in the main game, and only a fifth of your player base has done less than half of them, yeah, that gives you a really good indicator that what you're playing as a game has not been balanced well towards what people really would expect as an experience. And it also certainly highlights why it is very foolhardy to try and make missions based on all 21 cards of the major arcana. It's just too many. If you were going to do that, the missions would have had to have been really, really short. And frankly, you just probably would have flipped it around better so that there would have been 21 cards of the major arcana and they would have just been the platinum cards in this game. And so you would get something called the death card and it would kill enemies instantaneously. You probably wouldn't want it to be a negative card, but maybe you would just
During
make
my
it a negative
apprenticeship,
card.
I learned patience. This, however, stretches even me.
So what we're trying to do here is just pick cards that would be helpful, while also picking cards that would be useful. Alright. Then we're looking for things that would work against thieves and things that would be new.
I guess that card is one of your favorites. I don't see the appeal.
A lot of these cards, I just kind of don't see how I'm going to ever get the rewards on them, and it is going to probably come down to trying to get the red rewards instead of just collecting shards. Just overemphasizing that if we're even going to make it that far, which is kind of a big if. Again, there's a thieves' weapon. We need our defense to be as high as possible, and we need our max life to be as high as possible, because the Reaper's arrow apparently does 130 damage with one attack. And so one would think it very well may just attack you once in this mission.
For many, the card of death represents change rather than mortality. For you, we will see. Do you hear them approaching? The whisper upon the winds. Dark forces ride forth to stop you.
Particularly in like the last couple of missions, there's been a lot of repetition, and it has felt very much closer to a Mario Party map where you're going around in circles playing a longer experience. And that's definitely where I think I would try to eliminate the repetition and speed up the whole process. Potentially what you should have done is given 2 or 3 cards per mission of the major arcana. Or have boss fights that were the 21 cards of the major arcana. There's definitely a lot of different ways you could do it, but when you're having 45-minute plus missions, challenges, you really need to, you can't have 21 of those. That's just too long of a game.
Do you wait
although,
for
in
fear
fairness,
of making the
if you
realm
really loved Hand of Fate 1 and you played it for 200 hours plus, and you wanted to do the same for Hand of Fate 2, having all this content is going to be great for that 5% of your audience that really wants to do that. I'm guessing 5% of the audience would be about the right number there. Let's start playing. A filthy street urchin approaches you in a busy town market and asks, "You're the one who bound a mage and broke the raid leader of the north, aren't you?" Did we bound a mage? Is that the trickster at the very beginning? "I've heard some bad men talking about you. Give us a bit of bread and I'll let you in on a secret." She smiles with her few remaining teeth and stretches out her hands. We hand over a scrap of bread, which she quickly shovels into her mouth. Moments later, she gulps and smiles. "Well," you prompt her. "Oh, I've heard someone's offered a lot of gold to have you killed," she remarks while picking her teeth. "Now the whole guild wants in on it. Every thief from here to the Empire's edge will be after you. They even sent for some fancy assassin. The fancy assassin, the one they call the Reaper. Guess he's pretty good at his job, hey?" "Too bad, buddy. You seemed nice," the crow remarks, patting your hand. "Maybe you will find a way to survive, but I doubt it." The girl leaves you to ponder your fate alone. So, the goal here is just max life, and so I probably didn't pick the best cards for that. We're supposed to survive the Reaper by getting 130 max life. We're going to surprise the Reaper by getting 170. I wasn't really sure you could even get over 150 as far as max life. And yeah, it's another mission around one single mechanic where, yeah, again, if you're going to speed this up, you would combine 2 or 3 missions. You would have certain rewards that would give you certain major arcana cards instead of just gold coin rewards. Guess we have to go a direction, so let's just go this way. Let's see, general store. Let's see. We couldn't sell too much. We may not be fighting though at all. Alright, so we now know what the Holy Mace does. I think we kind of already knew what the Holy Mace did though. So we'll just buy some food and then we'll leave. And that was just a general store option that was part of the story. So if you haven't unlocked any event cards of your own, well, even if you had, that would increase your max life. There's got to be a lot of events here that are going to be just part of this challenge that raise your max life. Let's see. Visit the marketplace. Buy a map. Buy a statue. Now we're going to lose 30% of our responses. That was a bad card to do.
Here's a token for you, if you can earn it.
The libraries hold little knowledge of the mysterious north. Past the colossal height of Mount Fiendish, there is only theories, ancient creatures, and haunted weird woods. This is the far north. And rumors of a powerful sword trapped in a frozen lake at the end of the world. Only one who would journey deep into the unknown would be worthy of the blade, it is said. Let's see. There's a rough path to the huge Mount Fiendish, curving around it and heading north. Somebody has made an effort to pave it. A hungry, desperate farmer offers passage for bread. She claims she knows the road ahead. So we give him 3 food to take a carriage, or we walk and consume 2 food. Let's just give 3 food. It is quite.
Do what you can to find more food.
It is a quiet journey. You take the carriage as far as it will go. Continue down the path. It will take you north. The farmer tips her hat before departing. Be careful out there. You head into the frozen thicket. Alright, so now we're short on food. A wooden temple blanketed in snow breaks through the fog. An old northerner burning pungent grasses in a copper basin lifts his hand in greeting. Pilgrims, the moon path of the wildwood is haunted. Although it is faster, you should take the safer long route of the sun path. So now we're pressing on with 2 food. And I feel like it's going to just want more food. There's far too many events like this where you just have to have a massive amount of food on you. And it's just not likely to ever happen unless you start with massive amounts of food. You continue your journey. Just as the priest said, a stone etched with the sun and another etched with the moon signals the path splitting in 2. The moon path leads into a thick forest. The road is rougher now.
Starvation has been the end of many adventurers.
The road is now rougher, cobblestone giving way to dirt paths framed by banks of snow. So we took starvation damage there, which I thought it was just going to tell me I couldn't do it. You're curious weeping from somewhere ahead.
Death should come easily to one such as her.
So it seems to me like we can actually win here. Still. Why is there no blue in that loading section? Why is it only red? I think I've seen these brigands' blades before, but maybe not.
It's cold up here. I prefer the furnaces of iron heat.
So we just have a couple of rays here. That's one wraith down. And I don't know if it is actively draining my life or not. It doesn't seem like it really was. See, that's a brimstone card, so you would think it would have been a lot worse, but it really just took a lot of food. Further along, you find 2 graves and a weathered stone tablet. Here lies Queen Emmeline and her Isabel. Rest in peace, you murderers. You follow the path for a few more days, until finally the tree line begins to thin as the sunrise. You leave the forest behind and step into the vast plain of smooth ice. Nothing but flat ice stretches on for eternity. So there's more to the story. And now we need a pure 18 roll.
I hope you have learned to be their master.
There's almost no way we're gonna win here. So we do at least know what this card is about, though. Is that it's a lot of food, a fight, and a roll. Your time in the forest is but a distant memory. The ice wastes now stretch in every direction. You carve an arrow in the ice each night so as not to forget where north is. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna die trying to get this one achievement, or this one token. And I think the trick here is probably we have to win this dice roll, or we're just gonna starve to death over and over again. And so we probably are just gonna die here. Either die or abandon the quest.
A balance of resources is key. No one wants to perish wealthy but starving.
I mean, we kind of just have to see this through. How much damage are we taking with each food? It should be probably about 10, so we can do this a couple more times. Maybe one more time. The odds of getting 3 6s, though, just seem really low. Yeah, we can do this one more time. And then I guess we might as well abandon the quest at that point. After that point, to just see if that gives us the reward. Okay. To press any further into the unknown would mean certain death. Okay, well, we know what that card did, and it's going to be the end of us.
Gasping with each step, hoping
I'm down to
survive.
1 life due to
Find
starvation.
food if you can.
A pair of shady characters emerge from the shadows to block your path. The Empire is offering a pretty price for your head, adventurer. One of the men remarks while casually inspecting his blade. Nothing personal, the other adds as they advance towards you. So yeah, I am at 1 health. So unless I manage to not take any damage at all.
I may be old, but there's still enough life left in me to take you end to end.
Yep. And definitely the janky controls, even on easy mode, is a big problem here. I see the A. I'm pressing the Y to beat it.
In time, you will gain the skills you need.
but it's just not really helping or reacting correctly. Okay. We now know what this card does, so we don't want to play that. This was a bad choice. This is probably a bad choice too. We should have that. I'm not trying to change too much here around what we have. I wonder if exploding doodads might be a good idea to have always. Okay. So I think that's good. I think we're still in a good position with this equipment. We really didn't see too much. So it does just kind of feel like you always should be starting with extra food in these encounters. So let's try try it again.
Death was aptly named on your last visit. Let us see if you're any the wiser.
So we see a
You
different
have powerful
layout.
enemies.
Same
You know
text,
that
we'll
now.
skip through that.
But did you know that then? Did the Emperor understand you would destroy him before you even knew yourself?
One day you meet a northerner displaced from her homeland by warfare. She explains that she's a tracker for hire, working for those that can pay. She speaks at length about the nearby terrain. So we now know what location. Alas, I cannot take you there, but I can tell you about my other travels. She continues to relate things about her journey. Bright gold, do you want me to take you there directly? No, I think we can decline that. Interesting. So, for 11 gold, do you want me to take you there directly now? Now, this wandering tracker, as you will, I'm sure you know what you're doing. So that card has a shard on it, Wandering Traveler, and that feels like that is just a perfect card for some of the other missions to avoid doing all of the events. This isn't, however, really the situation where you want that to happen. So I think our best bet is we want to do red, red, red here.
Here we see yet another wheel, each different, yet each bearing their own similarities.
Well, immediately I screw up. So we'll go with blue now. And screw up there. I really am just no good at any of these. So I've gotten the absolute worst outcome, in which I have different colors. So now I have a curse, I have pain. Let's spider trap, I guess, first. Looking to avoid trouble with the local gang of thieves, you duck into an abandoned warehouse. Creeping among the broken crates and smashed furniture, you suddenly sense movement above you. An enormous spider hangs among the dusty rafters of the building, attending to the still form of a hapless adventurer wrapped in silken web. As you watch the terrible creature finish its gruesome meal and fully fed, retreats into the deeper shadows. You climb up to the sturdy ceiling beam and work your way towards the silent and still cocoon. The dealer draws 4 equipment cards with faction traits. Okay. So I guess we are earning something here. And so I would assume... Man, I really suck at all of this. It's kind of hard to stick to a game when you fail so often on these random encounters. I really wish there was just a way to turn them off. As you hack the silken cocoon, the beastly arachnid stirs and sprays a jet of caustic saliva at you. There was minus 13 max life, which probably means we shouldn't have done this encounter in the first place. For the danger of losing your max life, you flee the infested building, having gained naught but a fresh wound. Yeah, this is not going well.
Death comes closer and
With the
closer.
threat of an assassination
Can
looming
you
in the
hear
dark
it?
cloud, you seek solace in a remote inn known as the Flailing Dragon. Few patrons visit the night, and you fall into conversation with the innkeeper. Over a few ales, you reveal to him your current predicament. The innkeeper sighs, says, "I'm afraid there is little I can do, other than heal you up whenever you visit." This would go to the next level. The innkeeper pauses to send the barmaid for more ale. Ask about the Reaper. I've heard of this assassin. Even kings once feared him, though few could afford his service. If he hunts you, then you are in dire peril indeed. Who now would possess the gold necessary to command him, unless it is the Emperor himself? Ha ha ha. Sounds like the Reaper priced himself out of business. Maybe he wanted to retire. Ask about the innkeeper's past. I was a great magician once, working for the king himself, the man exclaims, gazing into the fireplace wistfully. Of course, that was before the Empire. These days, you can get hung for casting anything more than a simple healing spell, even that, in the wrong places. I suspect the innkeeper here is the Reaper, because they're giving a lot of personality to this innkeeper, whereas every other inn we've gone to, they really haven't bothered to have conversations with the innkeepers. You exit the tavern warily, scanning every tree and shadow for potential threat. So that is the move forward level. I'm going to go ahead and just skip this dialogue. So to accomplish that, it seems like you need very specific blessings. And then, let's see, what can we do here? We can at least look at what these new items are. Creates an aurora that ignores damage from traps for 10 seconds when activated. Interesting, which also wouldn't be very useful except for in those very rare trap encounters. Gambler's Hood here is interesting. Reroll 2s and 5s. After the first roll, optionally re-roll anything that is a 2 or a 5. Wager at the start of each map, optionally bet 5 gold that you'll end the level on full life. Winning draws a gold coin, gold gain card. Both of those, though, require high fame. Or at least this one requires high fame. And I can't really use the shield, so I really shouldn't have even equipped it as an option if I was going to use the fight the thieves two-handed weapons. Alright, so we've got nothing here we can do. We'll just move forward.
I'm hoping this process will teach you something. Something about how the game is crafted and how the rules abide. Perhaps something about sleeping gently while deadly assassins are on your tail, too.
I definitely suspect that when we go to the next level, we're going to end up in a fight. There clearly has to be more game here in the next level. Or there's just not really gonna have been an opportunity to get up to 130 max life, let alone 170. You bid the innkeeper good night and rise in the morning, leaving fully refreshed. So the Gambler's Hood would be really good in this mission because you would always win that bet at full health. Let's see. Now we know what this item does. And we can just leave.
Once again to the tavern. Once again to await your fates.
I guess we'll listen to rumors. The crowd seems unsettled, speaking with hushed voices and darting glances across the room. I hear the Reaper's been sent, one lad exclaims, drawing the attention of the other patrons. His arrow is deadly. It never misses and pierces the armor and shields, so they say. Let's see, let's listen to rumors. I pity the one the Reaper stalks now. These days are numbered. They say the Reaper is cursed by the gods to harvest souls for all eternity, bold man claims. So we listened to a bunch of rumors and it seemed to do absolutely nothing for us. You look down on your luck here. Have my lucky coin. Perhaps it will bring you greater fortune than it did me. You gain 12 gold. So I guess that might be helpful.
You should be more careful given the price on your head.
And then a pair of shoddy characters emerge from the shadows to block your path. We already seen the dialogue on this fight. You would think that this fight would somehow end with you getting a max level increase.
Too much talking. Let's wrap this up.
And these guys are just knocking me down quite often. And I guess there's one more guy around somewhere. That the wrist on that model, as he was falling down, bent backwards, it looked like. You can't avoid your fate forever, one man gasps as he falls. So now we have 4 fame. So by the second level, it seems like you could have maybe 8 fame at most. You spend a little time searching the fallen before leaving discreetly. Okay. So let's inspect. This will require 10 faves, so it's not worth doing. This is complete the High Priestess with this item and 12 blessings to unlock the token. Man, that seems really hard. So obviously what you want is the Gambler's Ring. And that gives us some food too. You return to Yvonne and Yvette's cottage. And so we just want a success here to get the vial of life is what we're trying to get. I think is what it's called. You're surprised and relieved to see the sisters greet you at the door, both full-grown adults. Yvonne greets you with open arms as Yvette sulks in the corner. Thank you for your assistance the other day. As promised, here is the citrine vial. I've already filled it from the waterfall. So, at the beginning of each nap, you draw one life gain card, which I don't know if that would be a max life gain. I don't think it is. It's permanent blessings. So now that we have that blessing, we want to find the old maiden card to revive the old maiden. Yvonne insists you stay for some pie before you go fresh from the oven. Now we have a lot of food.
A storm and troubles in the north, so it begins.
You enter a tavern as a storm lightens up the night sky. The bar is packed with fellow travelers seeking respite from the weather. As you make yourself comfortable in a relatively dry corner, a band of northern raiders kick in the door. Prepare your souls for cleansing, godless heathens. One-handed weapons are recommended against northerners. Do we have any weapon to really change? I guess we'll equip that. Is that a one-handed weapon though? I kind of wish the text would show up a little bit earlier. Like when you hover something, it's showing you those icons on the right, but then you kind of have to stay there for a while. Yeah. Where it probably would just be nice if it was instantaneous. It is visually appealing the first time you see it, I would say, to have that effect, but we gotta get these trappers killed first. Part of the problem as to why I'm not really doing these bits is because I'm hitting the button too many times. It may very well be a case where I need to hit Y then X exactly, and that would mean that the Y button to defend would have to actually succeed in defending on the first try, which it doesn't feel like it does do that, but maybe that is in part because I'm mashing the buttons. I may be making this game way harder on myself just because I am mashing buttons, but frankly I think that's how a lot of people would play in this game. Even in like a fighting game, you can usually mash buttons and do all right. You're not punished inherently by pushing a button more than once. The Northerners retreat into a storm. The innkeeper serves a round of drinks in your honor here. An old soldier left this with me before renouncing and adventuring for good. I want you to have it. We also gain 4 fame. So, we could take the pious robes, but I think the gambler's hood is way more useful here. Like we are in a really good position now. Yeah, I think we are in a really, really good position to
Every
win
choice
dice
leads
rolls.
us down new paths.
I'll join your rebellion, child, says Ketera, leading briskly through the slanted back alleys of Iron Peak, provided you aid me in my hunting, Acalius. you'll need a firearm while putting down a monster, not engaging in some contest of chivalry. The scent of gunpowder, leather, and grease assaults your nose as you enter Iron Peak Ballistics. The proprietor, Fillion, has filled the workshop with trophies from her monster hunting days. A stuffed minotaur stares glassily out the front window. On the counter, a polished turtle shell holds fresh flowers, and everywhere, resting on shelves and hanging from display racks, are firearms that have made Fillion a wealthy woman in her twilight years. A harmless little woman looks up from the counter, her expression warming at the sight of Ketara. Ket, so this is your new charge. What happened to the other one? Ketara ignores her prodding. I'm here for the pistol, Fillion. Fillion nods and reaches under the scuffed counter. She smiles as she places a flintlock pistol on the countertop. Ketara picks it up and aims down the barrel. This will do. Wow, 50 gold. Let's see if we can haggle. Ketara watches with impatience as you begin to haggle. Fillion looks amused. Alright, so haggling, we're going to have to haggle really well here to get it down to rerolls 2 and 5s, yes. We would really have to haggle to get us down. Alright, now what we want to do is reroll these for our second roll. And that wins,
well
so it doesn't
done.
ask us anything more.
You continue to impress.
Now what scares me about rerolling 2s and 5s is that if you rolled like 2 5s and a 2, or 1 5 and a 2, it might very well make you reroll both of those, which may balance out and prove to be fairly useless. So in those cases, I would probably not re-roll. But in all fairness, if you rolled 2 5s and a 2, you're talking 12. You're probably pretty close to the goal and the target already there. Notice my score is 14 right now. That's because I have a ring that's giving me +2 to the final score. Alright, the gunsmith smiles. The price has been reduced by 14 gold, which would then make it 36 gold, which means possibly the price would have been reduced based on the highest number we had there, which could have been 18 plus 2 to get to 20, and if we had a different companion, which we couldn't have had, 20 would have been the max that this could have been reduced to. So you need between 50 and 30 gold to finish this companion follow-up. That is telling me never play this card unless you are playing a mission where you have a massive amount of gold. You leave vowing to return with the necessary coins. We're not going to accomplish that, so let's move on. We'll listen to the rumors a second time just in case that unlocks some kind of achievement. You would think at this point, where we are approaching the third act, if we aren't already in the third act of doing all the 21 challenges, that I would be unlocking achievements left and right, but it's not really happening. And there isn't really a lot to do in the game that feels like you could unlock achievements. So, yeah. I have 22 of 99. That tells me that there probably is somewhere around 50 to 70 achievements that are just really, really hard to unlock, or you just don't make any progress on those achievements at all in the main game challenges. Okay, moving to the third level now. So I gained health. Bet 10 gold to receive a gain card at the end of the level. Let's go ahead and bet. Alright.
Assassins. I'd hate everything they stood for if it wasn't for their occasional usefulness.
How are we doing on this card, by the way? Reposit thieves. Yeah, I haven't accomplished that once. Yep. And this is clearly the mission to do this, to reposit the thieves with.
Out of my way.
We can kind of play here, but I really wouldn't want to play too much with this. Bomb people throwing bombs at me. It does kind of feel like on this mission, though, you're not going to have more than 2 fights per level. So as long as your health is somewhat good. He's coming, you hear, as the din of battle fades. You spend a little time searching the fallen before leaving discreetly. Let's see. So we have a Guardian Angel. Optionally retry any chance card gambits. Alright, that can be helpful. Gold. Mage's Workshop. Doesn't work for me. Didn't have any item apparently that could be upgraded.
These tokens represent the expansion of the game. More options, more cards, more opportunities.
That feels like that's some dialogue that should have played more often. It probably was said the first time we saw a token, but it almost feels like it should have been said every 5th or 6th time we've seen a token. So we needed the cistern, the vial of life, and we have it to get this token, as far as I understand it. Walking through a shady forest, you encounter a frail old maiden. She stops to greet you. For centuries I've helped the mortals who find themselves lost in my forest, but not once has one helped me. You have something I desire. Give it to me. In exchange I offer you something no mortal has ever beheld. Give her the potion of youth. So she pours the entire contents of the vial into her mouth.
A reward well earned.
And so now she is a platinum card called the Maiden. Within moments the potion takes effect. The old woman transforms into a youthful maiden. I thank you for your generosity, mortal. Now I may continue helping you, your kind, for centuries more. Please take my offering. We gain 8 fame. And we have an elven ring.
Their days came and went. The world has left them behind.
So the Blessed Traveler, at the beginning of every new map, draw 1 blessing card. If you have 2+ blessings, choose 1 to discard. Interesting. So you can't just gain a massive amount of blessings here with that. You would draw 1, then lose 1 blessing if you had 3 or more. Now tell me, what do you seek? Well, definitely we want a longer life. May you live long and prosperous life, she says. With a wave of her delicate hand, you feel a warm sensation through your body. Now that she is a platinum card, riding a unicorn, which they didn't even mention that, I wonder if this is going to give me a much better amount of max life. Plus 10, plus 15. I mean, that's not bad, but we still are not, we're like 13 short of actually having 130 to even get the silver token in this mission. See what equipment they have to buy. Nothing we can afford. And then, let's see, I guess food. And then we leave.
I know you feel the itch of those unrecalled mysteries.
Townsfolk gather around the well. A weeping woman says, "We are seeking solace for loved ones lost, but be warned, if you peer too long, your soul will be trapped in the well for all eternity." You gaze into the deep waters of the well of forgotten dreams. And what would we want to re-encounter? I mean, alchemist might be a good one to do right now. So let's go with that. We also have quick death and something else. And again, I didn't really follow that with my eyes, even with 3 options. Okay, we wanted alchemist, we got alchemist. Let's continue. The other ones were missed opportunity and quick death. You wake up sometime later with no idea how much time had passed. You meet a wandering priest who greets you in a friendly manner. For a small share of your provisions, I'll bless you in the name of the gods. Give the priest half of my food, sure. We're looking for a huge success here. Let's redraw. He speaks in the language of the old religion for several minutes and gently touches your forehead. We gain 2 fame, we lose 5 food. We now have simony remedy. If you have 0 gold and 0 food at the beginning of a new map, draw 6 game cards, then discard. Interesting. It seems like there'd be rare occasions in which that actually would play out well. Landing on the main card does not do anything, but it certainly glows on the table, which really just, I think, highlights how the rest of these cards could have some life added to them, with just a glowing effect of some sort, a more normal glowing effect. Right. So again, we want red. See, I don't know if this speeds up or slows down. Now we want blue. But it certainly changes. Now we want anything other than red. So you know what I should probably do is just try and land on red. Nope, that still worked. Food received from food gain cards are halved. Mana is 10 to our max life. So that probably was a poor choice. And we're just dead. Yeah.
Death comes for all of us in time, but some live to defeat it.
And this is just yet another mission that I don't think I can really succeed at. I think I'm missing the cards, and I think I'm just really unlucky. Your unease grows as you return to the flaming dragon once more. Every shadow and bush seems like it may conceal your hunter. The innkeeper looks up at you as you enter. "Ah, my favorite adventurer, and still alive, I see." He goes to relate the warring news that his tavern has come to the Reaper's attention. Let's see, my sources say he will arrive here sometime tomorrow. It seems your destiny is at hand, warrior. Turn in for the night. In the morning, the innkeeper bids you farewell. Good luck, warrior. You hear no sound as it strikes you, no sound, no warning, not even a hint that the Reaper had appeared behind you. Suddenly you're falling to the ground, the enchanted shaft of the Reaper's famous magical arrow protruding from your side. For not having enough max life, you fail to win the gold target token. And then...
You may still flee death, perhaps.
Nope, we just
An
die.
end to your life and to your struggle.
So that's just 100% around the idea of getting your max life up. We did get this thing. For restoring the maiden to her true form, we have the maiden card, which we'll probably want to always play that. But I don't think that there is any justification at all to try that again. We need to complete more challenges to unlock the moon. So, we have Temperance. We need to unlock more companions to play with the devil, Tower, and the star. So we're down to about 3 challenges. And I don't know if going back and getting gold for like the Hierophant or the Emperor or the High Priestess even would count towards unlocking any more of the challenges. It very possibly won't. Now, I guess what we could do is see if maybe the adventure mode challenges let you cheat this a little bit further so that you could unlock the moon and play it, even if we did end up not being able to defeat this level or this level or this level.
These pieces
Let's see
come
what
together
Temperance
in order
is.
to allow us a window into your past, the events that have led you here, your reason for being, and perhaps mine.
During the worst famine in the history of the Empire, an unnatural power is causing the dead to rise and stalk the land. There will be a food shortage. The famine has made food scarce, avoid starvation, and undead is the source, destroy the source of the undead. That seems fairly doable. Definitely in that last mission, I probably should have taken the Trickster. So, if we take this guy, he'll recharge our bomb for us. Which, let's not take Alchemist. Let's take Follow the Goblin, and let's see. Far North would be a terrible card to take in that case. Gain food, trade food. Trade Blessing Curse. Still upgrade equipment, I guess. I think this card is really good. So yeah, we always want this one. And frankly, at some point, you may just have 10 platinum cards that are the right platinum cards to always encounter. I guess if we needed gold, we might want to go back to do arm wrestling again. That did pay a decent amount of money. And that does certainly say something that I've kind of forgotten about arm wrestling when it was such a helpful card in retrospect. So I'm just trying to pick which of these would be the best ones to go with. See, if something has like a curse in it or combat in it, and then you have something that otherwise would just be helpful or completely positive, you should probably play the thing that is completely positive. And certainly a lot of these are just not worth it. And then also, when cards get upgraded here, the old maiden version of this card is just gone. So you can't have the old maiden of the version of the card, even if you wanted it. So that's probably not the best picking of cards. And then this is all going to be about, can we find something that would kill skeletons? I kind of feel like maybe I should be using that weapon more often. But there actually isn't a lot of times where you need a 26 damage. This one can reposit between enemy attacks. Defeat 12 mages. Do I literally have nothing here that would fight against skeletons? This one we definitely want. Pious robes we definitely want. That one I think I want always. Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to try and trade something, one of these, out for something else. Gain 250 gold from a wager ability to earn this shard. It seems like you'd have to do that over the course of time. Charged bash. Right. There we go. Ring of food. And then it seems like it's pretty obvious. You want to take food, and then we want to find something that would kill skeletons. We can take that one. I kind of feel like the wheel preparation might actually be fairly useful too. I'll take the crossbow. Yeah. If we had more room for more supplies, I definitely would consider the wheel preparation just to see what the cards are before they spin, because that is fairly rough. Alright, well, that is where we'll be set up for the next run in the next episode. I'm not sure I like the way the Temperance card is animated, but I'm not going to really complain too much on that, considering how we barely look at the cards. There is definitely, I think, a failure there for as interesting as your own alternate take on the tarot card might be if you have an artist actually spend a lot of time on it. They're really not showing those cards or playing up to those cards very much at all, and even the event cards that aren't based on any tarot event or tarot card aren't really being shown off enough. Yep. There is actually quite a lot of dead space and just empty space when we look in the game altogether. Even here you can see there's a lot of blackness on the left and the right of the cards, and just better layouts, squishing things together a little bit, making things bigger, all would be helpful. You don't want it to come off crammed, but there is definitely a lot of darkness in almost every screenshot you could make of this game. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.